Hello, welcome back to the Rewatchers Council. The whole council's back again, Adelia.
It is.
Unbelievable. And we're going to be talking about, I know it's an episode you can't wait to talk about, Adelia. Your words, not mine.
I hated this episode so much.
Oh, nightmares, Ferris. We'll do the thing. We'll do the thing here. Uh, Original air date May 12th, 97. And the number one movie. There was a new number one movie this week, guys. The Fifth Element,
Oh,
sci-fi classic.
Nice.
Well, Bruce Willis. You know, what are you gonna do? What was her name?
Mhm.
Lilu, or something like that. The number one song in the U.S. is still "Hypnotized," guys.
Yeah.
B.I.G.
Yeah.
Getting the recognition he deserves, posthumously, I guess. At the time, new number one UK song.
Finally.
Yeah, it's a song you guys probably have never heard of. Maybe Adelia. Let's see. "Love Won't Wait" by Gary Barlow.
no. I've not heard
From
that.
You'll get it.
From
You'll
Take
get
That.
it. Take
Take that. Yeah, Gary
I
Barlow.
know who Gary Barlow is, but I've never
Yeah.
heard that song.
This guy.
One of the judges on used to be X Factor.
X
There you go.
Factor, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
like him and Talisa.
I think he said
I don't know.
had like 12 number one hits and
Don't
stuff
ask me
like
how I
that.
know
Like
that, please.
it was one of the
I won't, Paris. Don't worry.
nobody will. No one will ever ask. Yeah. He has like an OBE. Like, yeah. Gary Barlow.
There's an OBE. They give an OBE to Gary. Yeah, the standards for an OBE is pretty low, I guess.
I guess he's done
Giving
some
Gary
things.
Barlow an OBE.
Yeah. None for Robbie Williams as far as I know. But
Isn't he
yeah,
Irish?
Gary,
No.
what?
No.
No, pretty sure he's English. Pretty sure.
It's Robbie Williams. Oh, Robbie Williams is the other guy from Take That. Got
There you
it.
go. There you go.
Is Robbie? So hold on, come out. Is
Okay.
Robbie Williams the Justin Timberlake and Gary Barlow's the Jay-Z Shazay?
Tough to
Maybe.
say. They both had a lot of hits. So
Yeah.
So
yeah.
neither.
JC didn't really have a solo career. So,
So Lance Bass.
No.
no.
Still bigger.
So they're both Justin Timberlake.
I guess so.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Gary Barlow wrote a lot of his own songs. I don't know if Robbie Williams did. So there you go.
Oh, you saying Robbie ain't that talented? Ooh.
Oh, he's incredibly talented. Maybe the best concert I ever saw in my life. The best performance. It was amazing. Anyways,
Never been to a concert.
there's plenty of time. Go get one. It's not like
Yes,
you don't live far away from
plenty
a
of
place
time.
that has lots of concerts.
It's true.
All right.
Let me tell you a story about somebody who went to a concert once. All right. Should I? Am I allowed to do it? Should I do it? So
Go ahead.
one of my cousins, right? He drove to Santa Clara to the Niners stadium, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because Taylor Swift was playing.
Mhm.
Okay. He didn't go in the stadium. He was in the parking lot listening to Taylor Swift play in the parking lot. He didn't go to the state. He drove to the stadium to sit in the parking lot to hear Taylor Swift play from the stadium. Yeah, man. I call that dedication.
Saved himself $800.
$1,000.
That's a smart and frugal man.
That's a smart man. The reason I tell the story is I'm not trying to shame him. I'm saying that I'm proud of him. Ingenuity.
Smart.
Why go to a concert when you just go to a parking lot and hang out with other people listening to the concert? Duh.
Yeah. Why would you want to go inside?
Exactly.
It's louder and you can see things. All right. Now, come on. We've come off the rails here already. We haven't even told
Are you
who directed
surprised?
it. No, I have not. It was directed.
Just like this episode, It went off the rails real easy.
Oh my gosh.
Freaked me the hell out.
Yes. Oh boy. Directed by Bruce Seth Green once again. Written by the showrunner David Greenwald had his hands in this. Rob Desatel and Dean Battaglia, like almost everybody who's ever written a Buffy episode had their hands in writing this one, it seems to me. Now, the DVD synopsis, guys. The nightmare world of a comatose child sends Buffy and her friends into a realm where their worst nightmares become reality.
It's a good synopsis.
Yeah.
Yep.
It also sounds very familiar to a certain movie franchise. one of Adelia's favorites. Now,
Yeah.
you guys, do you guys like have any phobias, anything like that? Anything that could prey on you if you have you're into the
Oh,
horror realm?
for sure.
Were any of them
Um,
involved in this show?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, not in the show, but I probably have a phobia. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. I know. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar said her biggest phobia was being buried alive. They show
They
her
buried
getting
her
that done.
alive. What is
Yeah.
wrong with these people?
Allison Hannigan has a huge fear of public singing, I guess, and they made her almost do that. They showed her going up there anyway. So, and I don't think that anyone's really afraid of clowns. I think it's a made up thing. Anyways, I don't have any phobias.
Well,
I've seen someone have a full-on panic attack because a clown was in front of them. So there are people
So
definitely
strange.
afraid of clowns.
and
So
you know, and the
strange.
problem, we have, John Wayne Gacy exists, so definitely
That's
fear
true.
of clowns does exist.
Well, he doesn't. He doesn't anymore. If it makes you
But
feel
no,
better,
he's not. Yeah, good
he does
riddance.
not anymore. Yeah, I think the only thing I could think of for phobias, like I'm not a big fan of heights. That would drive me nuts. I don't even like watching like TV shows where anything has to do with heights. It gives me the willies. And I was thinking about nightmares.
Damn, do I
Like
have any phobias?
I was thinking about nightmares, and like my earliest memories are nightmares. My earliest nightmare that I can remember is there was a show called The Electric Company, and on the show they had a Frankenstein, they had a werewolf guy, and they had a Dracula, and they would always show up in my dreams or whatever at night, in my nightmares. Turns out, the Dracula was a guy on the show called Easy Reader, and Easy Reader was played by Morgan Freeman. So Morgan Freeman is part of my earliest memories because of the nightmares he gave me.
I think I had a nightmare, right? There was a Disney Channel original movie called The Scream Team with
Okay,
like they were like ghosts, and Tommy Davidson was a ghost, and their job was to hurl up like 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 round up ghosts and like tell them to like time to pass over to the other world. And I
sure.
think and then there's y'all ever watch Sons of Anarchy?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so because then you probably don't know this character. So like there's a character in Sons of Anarchy that was actually like the bad guy in Scream Team. Like he was like a guy who was wronged in this like pre-colonial town that they burned his house and they killed him, and then but then he was resurrected as a man who like was like a pyromaniac, and he can make fire through his hands, and he would then like punish people and burn their house alive and burn them alive. And I watched that movie and I was like, okay, cool, so whatever. And it was funny to me is that I watched scarier movies than that. Was that movie for like 2 days, 2 to 3 days? I had nightmares of that movie, and I just kept seeing that scene of the fire dude. Just he had bad teeth, so he's looking at like he's looking at the town where he just burned down. And then the camera is, and then he turns to the camera and he looks directly at the camera and he like hurls fire straight into the camera. That's probably what freaked me out. But then like I stopped having those nightmares. And
You start
I've
burning
watched that
things.
movie. Then I've watched that movie more than once after that, and I never had nightmares after that. So I don't know if I have a phobia. I want a phobia.
That was a long story to say you don't know if you have a phobia.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
But he involved a nightmare in it, so
He did.
he stayed on. He stayed focused. He was focused. He was focused there.
Yeah.
Good. Right. Now, speaking of focus, Ferris. Now the show starts out. Buffy's in the cemetery, and where she meets up with the Master. Remember the Master? Remember the Master is
Yeah.
the big bad of
He's
this
back.
season, and he only barely ever shows up. But this time, he's free and he's wandering around, and he just grabs Buffy by the neck because I guess his charisma is just too strong. She can't move, and that's just it. Guys, we don't even make it to the titles, and the show's about to end. He's going to bite her, and oh, thank goodness, Joyce wakes her up.
Shout out to Joyce.
Shout out to Mrs.
Who said
Swimmer.
Joyce doesn't do anything?
She this is like the second time in the last 2 or 3 weeks that she's just woken Buffy up from a bad dream. So that's maybe her job. So Joyce tells her that her and her dad are still on. her and Buffy, Buffy and her dad are still on for their family visit this weekend. Now, a couple things. Uh, they go to the school and stuff like that. Buffy says that uh, she gets to see her dad most weekends. Like Willow's just asking. Supposedly, Buffy never tells Willow where she's going on those weekends. She just disappears. It's her
Mm.
best friend or whatever. Has no idea she's still seeing her dad. Also, B, this she says that her parents have been split up for about a year, and that just kind of flies in the face of the movie. But lots of things fly in the face of the movie, like she never burnt the school down. So there you go. Yes, so they go off to class, and Cordy's picking on a guy named Wendell. Not even about his ponytail. That was a sad ponytail, guys. Come on, lots of
Fun
hair, but
fact about Wendell,
mhm.
Rob.
Yep,
Wendell is one of the stars of the movie How High.
he's in it.
Yep.
He's
He
in
plays
it.
a redheaded dude who gets abused by Red Man and Method Man because they're roommates. It's fun. Wendell
All right.
Wendell got beat up.
Oh my god. So yeah, turns out Xander hasn't done any of the active listening homework that his teacher told him to do. So I guess his teacher is Miss Tischler. Found that out. She was portrayed by Terry Walters, but also Terry Kane or Terry Udang. Turns out she's given herself 3 different names in IMDb, including Terry Udang. I'm figuring that's the original name, right? Her
No
maiden,
idea.
like
Isn't that
her birth name's got to
isn't
be
that a
Udang.
isn't that a food?
Oh, I don't know. It could be. Just a couple of. She's been in lots of stuff. She was in Euphoria, like she's still in it. Euphoria, La La Land. She was in
What? She
Santa
was in
Clarita.
Euphoria.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, she might have
What?
only been in for one episode or even a scene, so it counts.
It's true. Good point.
Santa Clarita Diet, Ferris, highly underrated show. And of course, I always see if they have like something for Ferris in all of these. And of course, she was on Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. My bad.
Also, okay, so Wendell was played by a guy named Justin Urich. Yeah, how high? He was also in all your favorites, Ferris. CSI.
He was in Jag.
He was in Jag.
He was in Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls. So there you
Dragnet.
go. Yeah. So
CSI.
right, yeah, he's every single one that you've ever watched, probably.
Nutty
Buffy,
Professor 2, The Clumps.
you just have his IMDb page. Up
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. So, guys, Buffy drops a pen, and she sees a little boy standing in the doorway of her high school, which is kind of strange, you'd think. But then you hear Wendell scream as all these tarantulas come out of his book.
This is when I decided I hated this episode.
Not a big tarantula girl?
No.
No. I had a teacher named Mr. Coleman who had a tarantula in his science room for biology, and every once in a while he just put it on the desk beside you. You wouldn't enjoy that?
No.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't either. I did get used to it or whatever. As soon as I learned that it can't kill you, I guess as far as venom goes, tarantula bites aren't the worst.
No, because I don't think you can
care.
die.
But they're hairy and big.
Yeah.
It's a gigantic spider. I don't care.
Turns out,
I think it's the giant spider plus the hair and the way that it's just
and so many of them crawling. Slow. No.
Yeah. He said there was 200 spiders at one point. Who thinks of this? Anyways, turns out it isn't just him freaking out because other people can see it too. Everybody's screaming. Wendell's pleading for help as they cover him completely head to toe. And then the little boy just says sorry about that. Oh, jerk. So it's credits time, guys. So that's how the preamble goes. Now, we finally get to see the proper master, not a dream master, talking to the anointed one about fear, of course. And he says, if fear is in the mind, like pain, it can be controlled. Do you believe that to be true, Ferris?
No, because I think fear, you can't really control fear. You can beat it, but
Right.
you can't control it.
Yeah, I
Like
think
he's
fear
talking
is
about
irrational.
controlling. Yeah, I think he's talking about fear. You can control your fears. Like no, either you beat your fear or you can't, or you're scared. There's no controlling the fear. If you're controlling fear, it means you don't have fear. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you can't. Fear is the only emotion where either you have it or you don't. It's not like like controlling your happiness, where like you gotta be reserved in your happiness, or like controlling your sadness or your anger. Fear is you're scared or you're not scared. That's it. That's it. It's my opinion.
I'm always scared. I'm just kidding. Okay, so they could sense there's a change in Sunnydale, a psychic change, a big psychic force is happening, and so they drift off again or whatever. And so you know, there's your big bad for the season again for
Mhm.
one scene until a little bit later.
Our
Now,
master update.
yes, master update for the week. Now, Buffy gets dropped off at school. She did not have a good night of sleep. She kept having bad dreams. She scared her dad won't pick her up.
Mhm.
Uh, she Willow's still freaked out about all the spiders. Xander's not worried at all. He says if there's something bad out there, we'll find, you'll slay, we'll party. That's a good thing to have with you, don't you think? I think so.
A
Now,
bit of optimism.
yes, at the library, Giles is looking a little frazzled. He got lost in the stacks, it seems,
Mhm.
in that little school library with all the ancient books that no one ever talks about. So he tells them to talk to Wendell since he found nothing illuminating about the spiders. And uh, they find him. He's still wigged out, guys. He's still a little wigged out. Said Xander would be, said anybody would be scared. You had over 200 spiders on you. Or said 200 insects on you. And he says, oh, they're not insects. They're arachnids.
Arachnids.
Does that make you feel any better that they're not insects, Adelia?
No,
They're just arachnids.
no.
So
Rob, I don't
Xander,
think you're not gonna convince her, man. She's freaked out. Like it's not happening. This episode freaked her the hell out.
yeah.
It
And you
did.
know what? And you know what? I
Let me
I
tell you
can see
something. I
why.
was gonna watch this episode before bed last night, and
Oh,
Why
clicked
would you do
into
that?
Hulu, and I saw the title was Nightmares, and I went, "Nope." Backed
oh.
right out.
Why would you? I
Watched
don't
it
know why
this
you would do
morning.
that.
Well, lucky
That's a
thing they named it
new.
nightmares and not good night sleep time.
Yeah.
So yeah, she says they're arachnids, and Xander says, "Oh, they're from the Middle East." Come on, that was a fine joke. That was a fine joke. Iraq.
Wait, the fuck? Did I miss that joke?
You missed
What?
that. Yeah, very she
Yeah,
missed that.
yeah. So
Spiders? Spiders that are
Iraq.
Arab? Is that what we're doing? Like, what
I
is
think
going
it's
on?
Arachnids. Arachnids. So there you go.
That's
Joke
how Xander's
explained.
brain works.
Yes. So
Iraq? Like the spiders
Yeah.
are
right
from Iraq. He's an
now you
idiot.
get it. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Not the
You're just
brightest one.
realizing this?
No,
Yes.
I just enjoy calling him an idiot.
Yeah.
But that man is a buffoon.
So Wendell keeps going on about how people don't know arachnids have 8 legs and insects have 6, and he says that he loves spiders, but they hate him.
They don't love him
Guys,
back.
yeah, there's some unrequited love between a
Yeah.
man and his arachnid. Now, uh, that's when Cordy shows up to tell Buffy they're having a test right now. So
Yeah.
Xander wants to
So
make
I got a
sure.
question, man.
Sure.
Was Buffy having more than one nightmare?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, because
she
she
was the
had
only
the
one
original
having more
one
than
with
one
the
nightmare.
master. Yeah, she
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
There's the master, and then her dad not picking her up, I guess, and
yeah.
there'll
And
be
then
more.
no, because Willow only had one nightmare. Xander had 2 nightmares. He had like 4 or 5 nightmares, yo.
The show's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, not
Yeah, I know.
everybody else plus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now,
It's gonna
Xander
be like
wants to
Buffy
make
and
sure
Friends.
when. Well, that's true. Xander wants to make sure Wendell's love of spiders is platonic.
Mm-hmm.
Which the guy was going on about spiders quite a bit, so I get it. And it turns out Wendell had the best spider collection in the Tri-County area.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of questions. Your guys are both Americans. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming. I'm assuming you're American, Adelia. Now, Do people say this a lot? Do they say really say tri-county, tri-state and stuff like that? I hear it a lot up here.
Yeah, we have the Tri-County area, the Tri-City area. Yeah.
We have the Tri-Wizard Cup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys,
Yeah.
there was that thing that you guys had that magical competition for, isn't it?
Yeah,
Every
no, it
year?
is something. It is something that gets
Yeah,
said.
yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tri-County All-Stars or Tri-State All-Stars, or I'm all city, like for like sports, I'm all city
Well,
or
yeah,
all
that I can
county.
get, but yeah,
Yeah.
tri-county.
Yeah.
What how do the other
Well, Tri-County
counties feel
means it's
about
just like
it? Everyone thinks it's a tri-county.
no, Tri-County, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's 3 counties.
Yeah, but
Tri-County.
you don't have
3 counties.
one of those counties could be hooked up with another 2 counties, and that's a tri-county area too.
Well, no, they split them up. They make sure they group up the counties within the
Okay.
Tri-County.
So
It's
it
like-
isn't actual areas, it isn't just people throwing it out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, Wendell
It
has
sounds like
been,
it sounds like something they just be throwing out there, but yeah, no.
it does. It 100% does. So, it turns out Wendell has been having the same spider dream ever since he went away to a wilderness camp, and
Makes
his brother heat lamped his entire spider collection to death.
Brother's
He
a
had some
murderer.
beauties. Yeah, he had
His
some,
brother's a
yeah,
murderer.
it's
That's what it is.
Well, it's for spiders. It's for spiders. So
Still murder.
Buffy sees Cordy outside history class, as she hasn't gone to history class since day 1. She doesn't know how she'll pass. At some point, she notices the clock. Says it's like 11:20. She sharpens her pencil, looks back up. It's 12:20. She looks back up again, and the class is over. So she's having a nightmare during the day, but not getting a test. And I can tell you what, I've never had that nightmare in my life.
I have.
I had a feeling. Maybe there would be a testing in there for you. So she walks out and she sees the little boy again. The boy sees the girl going into the basement for smoke. He tells her you shouldn't go down there, but he doesn't rush up to her or anything like that, and she doesn't hear him, so she goes downstairs. Now, this part is where it looks a little Elm Streety to me. She goes down there. There's the boiler going and stuff like that, and then we see a monster, guys. A monster that says Lucky 19
Mhm.
and hits her with a big club arm.
Hmm.
So
I'm not-
see right here, man. Here,
Yeah.
here it is, man. Here it is. This is where this is like a woman's worst nightmare, right? It's in the dark, and she sees like a random big dude just start beating her up. Like that is horrifying.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
horrifying, man.
yeah.
It's like it's like the famous like the old political campaigns of women walking home in the dark, and how this president can't protect you and all that jazz. It's the same thing where like they're walking in the dark, they think they're safe, but then out of nowhere some rando dude just attacks them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, there was a whole movie where somebody did this thing. Anyways, so that girl is her name's Laura, I guess. She's played by a lady named J. Robin Miller. Again, a part of Ferris's faves. JAG, CSI, NCIS, also Beverly Hills 90210.
Adelia's favorite.
Everyone loves Beverly Hills 90210. So
I've never seen it.
she is how dare you? She gets sent to the hospital. The only people visiting her there is a girl that she barely knows, that said, do you know her? And says, to walk by, you can say hi. And the school librarian. Whenever people like this go to the hospital, where's the parents?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, in that scene, there was someone who said she doesn't really want to talk about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the nurse or was that her friend?
I think that was the nurse.
Mm.
Yeah, like I know the nurse comes in and says, yeah, you guys are you friends or whatever? So,
Mhm.
that being said, like she says, like the monster said, Lucky 19.
Mhm.
They find her doctor, and he says that she got off easy compared to his other victim. And then they look, and that victim is that young boy that they've seen running around the school, unluckily. Now, this guy's name actor's name is, well, I guess the character's name is Billy Palmer. He's played by a guy named Jeremy Foley. He was in a movie that same year called Dante's Peak. I think
Heard
we
about that
actually
movie.
mentioned. I think we mentioned it. I think it was a #1 movie. While this was going
Yeah.
on, and then he played Casper in a bunch of animated movies, so he had that going for him.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he played Casper and Casper, and I was like, oh, what? That's dope. But he's too
Yeah,
young for that.
yeah, he's been in coma for a week. All right, this poor kid. Where's his parents? Nobody knows. You know, it's been there. He's been there a week. They just
Yeah, and there was no
couldn't be
adult
bothered anymore.
nearby.
They
There's like
couldn't
no
be
adult.
bothered. No,
Yeah,
no. Considering he was attacked or whatever, and what's he gonna do? You know, walk out or something like that? He's fine. Now
Yeah.
exactly.
we go back to school, and we see Willow opens up her locker. So we see inside Willow's locker. Two things I wanted to bring up with this. One, for some reason, she has a picture of herself and Giles taped up in there, which I thought is odd. The second thing, which is also better, is she has a sticker on there of the band Nerf Herder. Do you know what's special about Nerf Herder, Ferris?
It's a Star Wars thing.
Well, it is a Star Wars thing. They also played the theme song to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh,
So it's a
yeah. I'm not that big of a fan of the intro.
They're breaking a fourth wall, and you have to be kidding me! How dare you so much?
Yeah,
How
the
dare
more
you?
I listen to it, though, I'm like, eh.
It's
So,
very 90s.
it is
Yeah, and I'm kind of
incredibly
like, I don't want to be. I'm gonna sound like a negative person, but I'm kind of mad that Hulu doesn't allow me to skip that.
They don't.
No,
No,
Oh,
can't skip the intro on Hulu.
that's
yeah.
weird. Oh well, good for Nerfer then.
Me, I'm a big fan of intros. So like, there are intros I don't skip. Like, I don't skip like the Game of Thrones intro. Like, why
Right.
would you? Who does that? What are you, a heathen? But I
It
am
tells
kind of
you what's
mad that they.
going on.
I am kind of mad that they recycled it for House of Dragon. They should have like did something else. But you know, it's whatever. I never skipped the Narcos intro. God, man, that baby was amazing.
So good. So good.
God, that baby was amazing.
We could talk about that when we do our show intros.
Yes.
Ferris. We'll just
Okay,
do a
sorry.
show based on intros, which could be amazing. We'll have an entire thing to Mike post. It'll be incredible. Now, they see three toughs talking about how they're going to go kick some ass.
Mhm.
Until the one guy's mom comes up and starts calling him her.
So was
little
that his
baby and stuff like-
nightmare?
That was
It
his
must be.
nightmare.
It must be.
His nightmare was his mother coming to school kissing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a I get it. That's a nightmare, bro. Like, come on, get over yourself.
I just wanted to bring that up because of that guy's sunglasses. What was the
Yeah.
deal with that? Like, there's like this. This is his sunglasses. Like,
It's
Yeah.
kind of weird. And then like, he was talking about like, I'm gonna go beat up that man because of honor. Yeah, it's honor, man. My honor's at stake. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, and then all you see is his mom say, "My sweet baby boy, look at you." And like I've, then he's not
I
really.
like how they all wear matching leather jackets too, like they're in
man,
Greece. They're
yeah,
the
T-birds,
T-birds.
baby.
Mhm.
Come on, Grease Lightning Wheel. Sorry.
So,
Ooh,
Willow and
Grease Lightning.
Xander go off to class. Willow walks in, then Xander walks in, and his clothes are off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Big nightmare for him, I guess, is being in the class naked. Yeah, I would imagine that would also fall in. I would not. I wouldn't be so scared myself, but everybody else would be very scared. Like it would be a nightmare
Yeah.
for everybody else but me.
That's probably an irrational feel, like showing up to class fully clothed, and like you walk in and like all your clothes are off, like not even just like Xander at least had his boxers on. My worst nightmare is like everything's off. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
That'd be horrible.
This is a family
That
show,
would be
Ferris.
horrible.
Come on.
Sorry, my bad. But that's
dare
a
you,
horrible.
sir.
That's a horrible nightmare.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
So they're back at the library. Giles has forgotten how to read. So I guess a nightmare of his is how he's forgotten how to read. Buffy grabs the paper and sees the boy she's been seeing around school and finds out he's the boy in the coma. So there you go. They wonder how this could be. Giles says it's astral projection. Buffy asks if she's seeing his asteroid body around the school.
That was
And then-
funny.
Yeah.
asteroid
And
body.
100% Buffy. And then she notices the baseball number is 19. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we finally meet Buffy's dad. and he's played by Dean Butler. And I honestly like I have like this Mandela thing where I think I've seen him in way more stuff than I have. I guess he just has one of those faces. Like I have seen him. Like he was Laura Ingalls' husband on Little House on the Prairie, and then they started doing all the sequels and stuff after that. So that's where he's really known for. But he also did Jag Ferris.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Love Boat.
Ah.
The Love
Yo,
Boat.
can we talk about how like Jag is all over this show? So many
No.
people are in Jag.
It's the same time. It's the same. It was made at the same time. Like it probably
So
just
many
went down the hall.
Yo, do you know what Jag's long-lasting impact on TV is?
Yeah, it's NCIS.
Exactly. And then in turn, NCIS Los Angeles, NCIS Hawaii,
What does
NCIS
this
New
have to do with
Orleans.
this episode?
Because Jag, Adelia,
Yeah, he really likes Jack. Now,
he was also in Murder She Wrote.
well, he's got the IMDb once again. So, he comes in. He comes in early just so you can go have a talk with her to let her know that she is the reason why he and her mom split up. Yeah, and he wants to mention about how embarrassed they are of her and how she's sullen and rude and not that bright.
Dude, can we talk about how horrible this scene is?
Yeah,
like not
It's
horrible as in, like
horrible.
this, like not like horrible as like this scene's a bad scene. Like yo, like bro,
yeah.
this is everyone's worst nightmare. Their parents telling them, "You are scum."
Yeah, they are
Like,
unhappy.
That's crazy. Like I like me, like you know, like me and my dad, we argue all the time, but like I'm never thinking my dad like, oh, my dad one day is gonna be like, you know what, I don't love you, get out of my house. Like he's never gonna do that to me. But like seeing this scene, man, you know, that's gut wrenching.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar was terrific in it as well, I
Mhm.
believe. So yes, he's saying that basically
You're the reason
saying,
we're not together.
you're the worst or whatever. And when she starts crying, he says, "So why are you crying when I'm just being honest with you?" And that he doesn't get anything out of these weekends and doesn't think they should do them anymore.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves her there on the bench. But she sees that little Billy boy again.
She chases him.
Yeah, we pick up with Willow and Xander. They show up at the library and give Giles the rundown of what happened at the in class. Xander says it was a total nightmare. And that's when Willow starts to piece it together. Giles says that their nightmares are all coming true. And says, and Billy's going to be involved in bringing nightmares to life because, you know, it's the Hellmouth or whatever. So, yeah.
Shout out to Willow figuring it out. Shout out to her, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out to Allison Hannigan, TV icon Allison Hannigan. I mean, she's doing phenomenal.
I don't think you're allowed to say her name without saying television icon. Now
she is, man. She was in Buffy. She was in How I Met Your Mother.
Sure.
She was in that other show.
Yep, that's right. She was in 2 shows.
She was in the Muppets.
Was she? All right.
Yeah.
So we see Cordelia quick. Cordelia's nightmare in true Cordelia fashion. Bad hair day.
Bad hair day. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So Buffy again follows Billy into the gym. He doesn't remember anything bad happening to him, but when Buffy mentions Lucky 19, he says that there's an ugly man that wants to kill him, or the ugly man that wants to kill him calls him Lucky 19. Then here comes the monster, attacks Buffy. Buffy fights back, but for some reason can't dodge that super slow arm. Like, how do you? This one I was like, okay, all right. So we flash over back to the other Scoobs. They said, "Oh, we're gonna split up to find Buffy." The one person that gets it is again Willow. I don't think that's such a great idea. Billy tells Buffy they have to hide so that the ugly man will come. Like, weren't you trying to get away from him? Like that part I didn't understand. Yeah.
I didn't understand that either.
Cordy, you see Cordy being dragged into the chess club, which is amazing as well. So
that was great.
Yeah. So Willow hears a voice in the basement, and she thinks it's Buffy. She goes down there, and she's grabbed by someone. Oh boy! As Xander's following a trail of chocolate bars.
As only Xander would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Buffy and Billy see people
No,
playing
not
baseball.
creepy at all. You know, just random candy bars, just
Yeah,
there.
and he's eating them all. Like each and every one he eats. That's a big thing for him, I guess. So
It's like the James. It's like the James Woods joke on Family Guy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece. No, nobody. No, okay.
Nope.
All right.
All right. Billy says as a bunch of kids playing baseball, he says that when you lose, it's bad, and that the game they lost last week was his fault. And Buffy tries to say, well, "What do you mean it's your fault? Isn't there 8 other people on the team and stuff like that?" But as they leave, they see the ugly man and a newly unconscious teenager by his feet. You just hear a whack, and then you see some teenager on the ground. I really like that. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes of the show. So they run into the bushes. They got to get away. They run into the bushes, but the bushes become the cemetery, guys. Oh,
and gosh. At night, the cemetery at night.
The cemetery at night. So we flash back to Willow, and she's about to go sing on stage, although she doesn't know the words and stuff like that. She's dressed up in a very
she's gonna sing opera, like an operatic.
Yeah, she's got some big fat dude waiting on stage to sing with her and stuff like that. A bunch of people sitting in the audience who look like they honestly could care less. I was looking at the people in the audience. A lot of them just have their heads down like this. Like, what are you guys? Were you guys just made to come there or something like that? Like, this is part of your work release or something? I don't know. Anyways, back to Xander.
Work release.
Yeah, he finds a chocolate bar he hasn't seen since his 6th birthday, guys. A chocolate hurricane. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think that candy exists.
Yeah,
I don't think that candy exists. That candy doesn't exist.
What sounds good about eating a chocolate hurricane? Doesn't make any sense.
Nothing.
That sounds like your dentist is gonna hate you.
Yeah, or your weatherman, So, but when he grabs the chocolate hurricane, he hears a clown laughing, and then a clown's shadow, and then a clown lunges at him with a knife. Oh boy! Now back to Buffy and Billy. They're standing over an open grave with an empty casket inside. You think that's how it's done?
No.
I'm pretty sure you load someone in the casket, then put the casket. You don't just put the casket down and, just drop the guy in at the end. Although, I guess either way it works. It really doesn't matter. So this time, it's not the ugly man. It's the master. The master shows up. He lets Buffy know that he's alive because she fears it. She's free now because she fears it. And then the master pushes her in, starts burying her. Now, this is where I said it's Sarah Michelle, one of Sarah Michelle Gellar's greatest phobias is being buried alive. Then they go back to Willow. Willow's being booed off stage.
Rob, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How do you think that day on filming went? Like, all right, so Sarah, we're in the cemetery. She's like, okay, so what are we doing? We're gonna bury you alive. How do you think she reacted? She probably like do you think she was like, excuse me? What?
I think they didn't bury her alive. I think they probably
but still, in the
put down and threw one thing of dirt on her, and that's it.
The simulation of it could probably still freak you out, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I guess that's why she got paid all the money, so she could pull through it.
What was her check-in episode? Was it $1 million an episode?
I don't know. I was thinking like maybe $700 or $800. That's pretty good. Yeah. So probably more than that though. So yes, we flash over to Willow. She's getting booed off stage. Someone throws a tomato at her. A tomato explodes at the door, which means somebody went to this singing thing with all the expectation of, if this sucks, I'm throwing a friggin' tomato.
We need to bring back tomato throwing. That's what we need to bring back.
Just
we
need
to bring back tomato throwing. You know what? Like if I go to a comedy show or a singing show and they stink, I want to throw a tomato.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We need to bring it back. Bring it back. Bring back the tomato throwing. Or you know what? Or for punishment, we stick their head in those things, or we lock their
Yeah, the
heads in
stocks. The
the
stocks.
stocks, and we throw tomatoes at them for yeah, bring it back.
By the way, guys, Ferris is just about to announce his new side venture, Ferris's Hot House Tomatoes.
Yes.
Perfect for throwing at people in stocks and also poor operatic performances.
We also have the dangerous tomato where I freeze it so you can throw it.
Okay. What's the matter with you?
All right. So
Unbelievable.
for the record, Sarah Michelle Gellar for seasons 1 through 5 reportedly made $75,000 an episode. For season 6, it was $100,000 to up to $150,000, and season 7, $350,000 an episode.
I think that's.
Man,
I
she
think
better
that's pretty
got
good.
man. She
that's
better
pretty good 90s money, I
renegotiate
think.
her royalty benefits.
Oh, I'm sure she got. Oh, actually,
I'm
I
sure
don't know.
she
I don't think they got much. It's in the book. I'll look it up later.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I always go back to the famous story about Friends where like they all got paid and then they all negotiated a deal and all their deals came up and they all negotiated together, so they all got all an equal piece of the pie. And then apparently the royalty checks were like $20 million each.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? Then you started realizing how much people still watch Friends getting $20 million each. That's crazy.
Simpsons guys negotiated something quite similar. To
Yeah,
that as well.
same thing with the Big Bang Theory people. Yeah, they did the even though some people were more important than others in that show. But yeah, they did the Friends thing where like everyone knew. Did you know? Fun fact about that Big Bang Theory: they offered Jim Parsons $30 million an episode to come back for a 13th season, and he said, "Nah."
Yeah, he was done.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm good. I'm done."
Yes.
I love Jim Parsons. Big fan.
Don't know how much you'll see of Jim Parsons from now on, but
He doesn't need it, man. He getting the Big Bang
good
Theory
to know
check.
that he
Don't
can
need to
turn
work.
down $600 million for less than 1 year's sleep. All right. So Willow gets out of there. She runs into Xander and meet up with Giles, but then the clown starts chasing them. But then Xander wises up and knocks out the clown
Punches
in one
the
punch.
living daylights out the
One
man.
punches the clown. So at least it wasn't Giles this time. Giles makes it through yet another episode without more damage to his brain. So, but
Yeah,
they
how
look
many
across.
concussions do you think this man has
We're gonna count
already?
It up. We're counting it up. I can tell you right now, he's had 3.
Okay.
Well, he's been knocked out 3 times. I'm imagining there'd be concussion issues.
Yes.
So, now they notice the cemetery is oddly across the street now. And
it's at night.
It's at night for that one little bit where you can see it. They run over there.
Yeah, I love how they like just don't care.
They see a Buffy tombstone for the first time. And Giles starts agonizing over her grave, saying it's his nightmare or whatever. She
dies?
prepare in time.
Yeah.
But a hand bursts out from the dirt and grabs him. Buffy comes out, but she's in full vampire face. Buffy's a vampire.
Never go full vampire face.
Slash Slayer. Giles informs
What a conundrum.
Everything can be brought back to normal if they wake Billy up. Buffy suggests they hurry as she's starting to get hungry, guys. Oh my gosh. They get to the hospital, and hospital is in chaos. In Billy's room, again, there's no parents or whatever there. Giles goes in there and just starts yelling at him to wake up, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like nobody's
not gonna work.
Nobody's tried this.
But...
Let's just yell at him. Astro Billy says that it won't work, obviously. Then the ugly man appears again. Willow sees giant flying ants when she looks outside the blinds or whatever, flying around Sunnydale. Buffy and the monster fight again. Yeah, that wasn't a big fear to yours?
No.
Oh boy. Buffy and the monster fight again. This time Buffy breaks its club arm. She then gets Billy to pull its mask off, a la Scooby-Doo, you guys. But instead of old man Jenkins who runs the the general store. This
Mhm.
time, there's just a big flash of light. Everything seems to go back to normal, ending all the nightmares. And Billy starts waking up and does
I just love how
Go ahead.
like people watch this show casually, and like she just murders people. She just like murders people. Like I know this man's like a ghoul and he's like
Yeah.
a bad person, but
Mhm.
like I love how she just casually murders him in
Yeah.
front of a child.
That child was asleep. That child was asleep.
Like Adelia, when you're watching the show, did it ever cross your mind like, oh, she just killed somebody or a thing?
No.
She just killed something. Yeah,
No.
I was watching this. I was like, yo, she just murders. She just murders these things.
Plus, where's the evidence? They all turn to dust or whatever, or just
That's a good
they will
point.
disappear, I guess.
But
So,
I really wanted her to murder the following scene. I wanted her to murder.
we're gonna talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
that in a
man.
second. So, Billy starts waking up. He does the total Wizard of Oz things, like, man,
Mhm.
I'm crazy, and you were there, and you were there, and then he says, "Who are you people?"
Yeah,
You should have been saying, "Where's my parents?" All this stuff.
Yeah.
Nope,
yeah. You
not
should.
there.
Yeah, I think you should have said that. Yeah.
And then his kiddie league coach shows up. Before we get into that, is it called kiddie league down there? I thought it was little league.
No, it's
It's
Little League.
Little League.
It's Little
I
League.
wonder if they
They
could,
might
legally-
not have been able
They
to
couldn't say
use
it. Yeah,
yeah.
because of branding purposes and
and
Little
what
League.
the subject matter was about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have different names for it. Like you have Little League. Little League's now like the big brand because now we have the Little League World Series.
Mhm.
But then like some people call it T-ball or
Well,
youth
T-ball's
baseball.
is different than Little League.
Oh my bad.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like they have called like like youth, call it youth baseball or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Strange. Anyways, his coach shows up. He says, "That Billy's my lucky 19." Then, he's showing Billy's awake, and he tries to get away, but Xander and Giles catch him.
Mhm.
So this kiddie league manager just beats the hell out of a kid, and
Apparently so.
the parents aren't around, like nobody can figure her out or whatever. Because
Xander grabs him.
You would imagine he'd still be wearing his baseball uniform.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. This part here, like I get it, they wanted to have like this nice little swerve at the end or whatever, but it really makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I was angry at the swerve. I was pissed off about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, beat him up. Like that man abused this kid. He beat up a child. I was very upset.
Yeah.
I was very upset.
Also, yeah, you would think like is you thinking that this kid's never waking up or something. That's the reason you're coming by or whatever. Like you should have got the hell out of town, you dummy. Anyways, now back at school,
Probably
Buffy
came to change
Yeah.
the story
Yeah,
of the
that's,
kid. Like you're not gonna tell nobody I beat you up.
that's true.
Or I'll beat you up again.
It's probably happened before. Now,
Yeah.
Buffy's actual dad shows up this time and is happy to
thank
see
God.
her. And Xander was still into, it seems, vampire Buffy. And
Well,
that's
he's a sophomore in high school, of course.
yeah,
They're,
that's the
they're
end of the
into,
episode.
they're attracted to everything that moves.
Next time, I don't want to say next week. Next time, guys, it's the penultimate episode of the season.
Really?
It's Out of Mind, Out of Sight. Yeah, this was a mid-season replacement. So yeah, we only have 12 episodes. That's it. That's it for nightmares. No more nightmares for you, Adelia. Was this cathartic? Was it cathartic talking through
No.
your nightmares? It wasn't.
Absolutely not.
Why not, Adelia? We're here for you.
No.
Catharsis.
Yes. Next week's episode, I believe you won't have quite so many harsh feelings towards. A very Cordelia-centric episode.
Looking forward to it.
Wonderful.
You know what
Big
else
fan
I'm
of
looking
Cordelia
forward to?
since,
You know what I'm looking
Angel?
forward to, Ferris? You know what I'm looking forward to?
Angel?
Well, Angel, sure. I'm looking forward to finding out what it is you're up to on the good old Let's Get Ready Network.
Well, yes, guys. Every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific on our sports channel, I go live with me, my co-host Caleb. We do American football. The season is going down to the Super Bowl, so we're almost over. As well as on this channel, 8 o'clock Fridays, me and Adelia have the open table. This week we're coming back. We're gonna be talking about why we've been away for so long. We're gonna be talking about tennis is back. Just overall good discussions, as well as on this channel, our tennis podcast is coming up. We're gonna be filming our recap
It's
to
on
the
the sports
semifinals.
channel.
The sports
Yes,
channel. The
the
sports channel.
highlights.
We're gonna be filming our recap to the semifinals and the finals. The Australian Open. That episode's probably already out, so make sure to go like and subscribe over there. We're at 126 subscribers, so we're trying to get to 24. We're 24 away from 150. And lastly, we have a brand new show coming out called The Scrum Down, where we take you through the world of international rugby. Yep, we are going to be previewing and talking about the Six Nations, one of the premier rugby tournaments in the world. It involves Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, France, and Italy. So make sure to hit that notification bell and to get all the videos on those channels. That's also on the sports channel as well.
Thanks, Ferris. Thank you for reminding me about the Super Bowl. Speaking of nightmares. Now, Adelia. Wasn't a good night's sleep for me. Speaking of nightmares. Anyways, Adelia, what do you have going on?
Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, over on the Highlights channel, starting 11 with Snark talking about the 20 matches that will occur before the next episode of Starting 11. So check that out. Our English Premier League recap show. Here every Thursday doing Rewatchers Council, 3 p.m. Pacific. As far as said, the Open Table Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, and the Scrum Down coming out Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific over on the Highlights channel.
Scrum it down. Scrum it down.
Ferris is very excited about this. I have no idea how this is going to go.
So, okay, very good.
We'll see.
Either we're going to learn and we're going to enjoy a new sport, or
that I've been watching since 2008. So
well, I'm talking about myself, Adelia. Not everything's about you, okay?
You said we.
Yes,
okay,
that
is
is not point. Just you talking about yourself.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't know.
Maybe you're thinking the royal we. He's thinking
something like the royal we. Yeah. All right.
What about
Rob? Where can people find you, Rob?
You can find me on the Starting 11 as well with Adelia. Of course, find this show, Rewatchers Council, every Thursday. We release new episodes on the flagship network. Also, Let's Get Ready Network after Snark should be back at some point. The show I do with Danny's on weekends, where we're going to talk about something. We'll talk about something, and we'll put it on a thumbnail and everything, so that people have an idea of what we may or may not talk about. We'll see. We'll probably talk about whatever it is for a little bit anyways. But that should be coming back very soon. Hopefully Danny's going to be good to go sooner rather than later. But that's it. That's it for us. We're going to talk to you all next time.